Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope this video can make it a little bit better. The following video was taken as part of stream. I hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. So let's go ahead and grab our Evelynn. So with the Jace Relic, 1-2, and then when I level up, refill 3 mana. Normally this Relic, obviously good for Jace, and then it can be used as a stat Relic for some people to hit the Starforged threshold, and so it's kind of just like a better version of another stat Relic. And the mana refill is kind of just a little bit of a bonus, but that's not really why you're using it. Here, we're going to be trying to use it, not for the stats, but for that mana refill, since Evelynn's someone that can level up a bunch of times. Do I think this is really going to be worth it or better than a lot of the other relics you could get for Evelynn? No, I do not. But I do want to test it out because, again, this is a relic that we haven't really tested on almost anyone. Like, I know it's good for Jace, know it's good for Alawi, and right now that is about it. Let's grab this here. Last time I played this mode was before the extra stars. They've given the champions. Not sure if I can go back to playing this game again. I mean, I think it's pretty much better than ever. You don't have to get all the stars as well. There's still plenty of champions that can clear everything at just like 3 or 4 stars. You definitely don't need to get all the way to 6. What do we want to go for with our Evelynn? I think let's just do something simple and go for like Shadow Isles just for the testing the build. Alright, power. Let's see what we can get. Thrice bound, your units have evolve, sorcery. Normally the evolve can be pretty good. Thrice bound would trigger our steam, which getting him right away is also not bad. But I think we'll go for your units have evolve. Although sorcery is nice with Siren Song. That is actually a bit tough. Siren Song is pretty good. We normally can't trigger the evolve for the stats. Sure, this gives us a little bit more flexibility. Let's go for Spiderling. That could be really fun. Could be interesting, though. I think it might fall a bit flat, because what are you going to do with it? Eat more husks. Waste level ups. Yeah, I don't think the extra mana will really matter too much. With Evelynn, you do often hit a point where your board's already full and you don't really have mana to spend anyways, but we'll see. This is fine because we know we're going to get our Evelynn. It's like I want to pass, but at the same time, I'm worried about what they're going to play. Let's drop a Warden's Prey. Okay, so they blew all their mana. Let's drop this right here. We get our Husk going. We are not going to attack at all. We want to drop our Evelynn. That's annoying. Kill an ally, deal 5 if Evelynn, summon a random Husk. So yeah, we need to do that right there. We'll kill that unit. Now we'll drop our Evelynn, which we will get our mana back, so we will be able to refill. So yeah, now we have 3 extra mana to play with that we normally wouldn't. So we could go for a Domination, could go for a Desperate Husk into a different unit. I think let's try to be a little bit more aggressive. They're probably going to attack here with those 2. Yeah. So we can kill that one. And now they don't have any blockers, which isn't too bad.
You're almost there.
And then we can drop this.
That was hot. I want more.
So we could play the Domination for 3 mana, and then we would immediately get all of our mana back, which isn't terrible. Let's try.
Hello, something new.
Let's try to get rid of their one blocker right there.
Going
Well, that figures. Let's
Don't waste my time.
drop that one. And they will be able to block some of our bigger units, but let's just go ahead and go for it. Yeah, we have so many stats in these other two units. That is a little sad. I suppose we could have tried to kill one of our smaller units to...
Scream for me.
Yeah, that could have worked, I suppose. But at this point, we have so many stats, it kind of doesn't matter.
Just leave me alone.
Sure, we can let that unit die. Let's use this, kill that
Please
bear,
allow it if you like.
go for our steam,
Splish splash steam.
Always, Eve. But you know that.
and sure.
Lively's better half, love.
Waiting on her meal, ma'am. Best get to it.
Alright, let's just go ahead and attack,
Scream.
and GG.
Love it.
See, I think it is nice getting that little bit of mana back. Can kind of help your early game. Granted, the Spiderling isn't the best for us. It's one that's a decent counter just because it has removal spells to try to kill our husks, and then it can kind of flood the board to get a whole bunch of blockers. Don't really like any of these. These are all terrible. Let's actually try one reroll here. Yeah, I'd rather just have this Plucky Poro. Yeah. Let's go for support champ. Jarvan's not bad. Having a Cataclysm, yeah, that seems okay. So that one is Overwhelm. Yeah, that's also not terrible. Granted, I don't really want to do the discard. Sure, let's try to go for Jarvan. Champion item, we don't need that as much anymore. Let's go for the shop, see if we can get a decent power. So let's go for Brightsteel. What tier list are you testing? Right now, we're trying to work on our paid relic tier list. So there's a couple relics that we just need to test a little bit more just to see if they can work on another champion. Because the main way we're ranking these relics is how good are they on multiple champions, pretty much how flexible or versatile they are. And so for some of them, we're rating them lower, but it's like we need to see if there's a couple champions that could maybe make them work because they could boost them up in the rankings. So that's really what we're working on right now. I think this is fine. We know we're going to get our Evelynn, so it's not like we need to re-roll a whole bunch. I feel like they're going to play something. And I feel like they also have a single combat, so I don't really want to play something for them to immediately kill it. Let's try to pass. Okay, thank you. I think let's go for Ceaseless and then Siren Song. Getting that going right away is pretty nice. And yeah, we are not going to attack. All right, so we'll drop our Evelynn.
Tendency to get that was
All right, that is a little unfortunate. So we could drop Steam already. Stubborn Husk, Cataclysm. Do we care about trying to get extra lives or not? We have been pretty aggressive with our lives at the moment. I was trying to get maybe some big stats here. I do wish we had Overwhelm on some of our other units. Yeah, I think we'll save this one for Steam. Let's go ahead and kill that, kind of just because we have the mana.
scream. That's it.
And I think we will pass for now.
Scream for me. Suck on
Let's play this here to get a kill, but also just to kind of pass priority over to them. Oh, so that unit's already dying.
Ever been played? That was playtime. That's it. I've got your back.
So yeah, it did trigger our level up, which is not the best for us. Let's drop this right here. This is going to be a massive amount of stats.
I'll write my own
And we...
story.
Alright, this now has overwhelms. We can drop steam.
Ready for a little splash steam?
Always, Eve. But you know that.
And GG. Okay, nice.
It's always over. So soon.
Is it easy to start champs now, or is it still difficult as it used to be? There's a lot more regions and stuff you can get in the game. A lot more rewards, especially right now that we have an event going on. There's a lot of kind of temporary rewards you can get. So trying to go through, clear out all of the events, all the adventures can be pretty good. And so you can get, yeah, pretty much a lot of free progression right now. I want Eve 6-star so much. The Husks thing excites me. It is pretty fun. It's crazy, yeah, how big of stats you can get. Plunder, grant 1 cost allies 1 power. Granted, Shadow Totem is really bad for us. We don't... There's just another unit dying, which kind of sucks. But this is pretty expensive. If we attack twice, though, which we can do, I think we will go for the Taskmaster, even though... Yeah, the Shadow Totem is not what we like to see. Alright, I suppose we can grab that. I think we're fine. So let's go for Duelist, which this is another one. Pretty much all of these ones that we're doing, this whole adventure, isn't the best for Evelynn because there's a lot of removal, which is your main counter. Let's get rid of both of these. Once again, let's try to pass so they can play something. All right, they don't have mana for their single combat. Let's go for our Siren Song.
Actually here.
And yeah, let's go ahead and pass.
You're covered.
All right, they still have the 2 mana for that single combat, but let's try to drop our Evelynn, stun their whole board.
Not my first time. Mind if I slip into something a little more painful?
Let's go ahead and use both of these right here to kill that unit to keep our unit alive. And then we still have extra mana because of the Jace Relic. Honestly, it's not feeling too terrible. Let's drop the Fading Husk for the Elusive. We can drop the Poro to consume that unit, and the Poro has Overwhelm. So we can now go for a Cataclysm, which will actually do solid damage.
That was hot. I want more.
And then we should be able to immediately attack, and with our elusives just be totally fine. Alright, the mana refill actually isn't that bad. Because normally when you are playing Evelynn, you're spending like all your mana on Evelynn, and then you kind of don't really have a lot of mana left to play with, because you're normally playing cards exactly on curve. So while I think there are a lot of good options, I think this actually works. Let's go here. A 2-cost Farsight with Overwhelm is really, really good. Well, now I know why Poppy isn't going to be playable despite looking so cool. Rip, I suppose. Let's go here for shop so you can get a good power. Ally survives damage, grant it 1/1. Sure, for 200 gold, it's fine. Let's go ahead and cut a card. We're probably never going to play Gallant Rider. And let's go for Fiora.
I would gut down the opposition.
Let's get rid of the Jagged Taskmaster. Honestly, we could get rid of it now that we actually got our other Farsight cheap unit. let's pass once. All right, they spent all their mana. We can go for domination.
Speak when I allow you.
And then we will just pass. All right, they didn't open attack, so that's good. We can drop our Evelynn.
I've heard the street. Mind if I slip into something a little more painful?
I think we'll prepare to play Steam next round. So let's drop another Stubborn Husk. We have her Last Caress if they try to attack. Although that unit's not gonna die. So it kind of doesn't matter. Let's maybe just get rid of their Fiora, to be honest.
We're playing by my rules.
And we could go for a Plucky Poro, but I think we want to go for Steam. Let's potentially go and try to kill another unit right here since we have this.
When they scream, that was hot. That's it. I want more.
I was hoping that we'd be able to get something to be able to give our Steam a way to punch through and kind of kill the enemy. We could drop the Honored Lord just for all these stats. I think let's try to go for a Hate Spike here. Because we'll get another unit. Sure.
Ever been flayed?
Alright, elusive, fantastic. So we will drop our Steam here.
Ready for a little
He's going to be
splash?
huge. She refilled our mana, so we now have like full mana again to be able to play more units. So we could actually go for a lot more power, and we're actually not hitting the point where we are filling up our board too much so that extra mana is going to waste. Like, we have things we could play,
Or scream.
but it's not really actually that needed because we can just
New recruit reporting in.
There's power
attack
in motion.
and GG. So this is definitely better than the other one that we just were looking at with Darius. This actually does have a use case. Shadow Totem. We're always starting with the attack token because it's a deadly modifier. And so when we're dropping our Evelynn, we don't have the attack token. So having two of them kind of doesn't matter. I think let's just go for the Deathless. And let's go for a power right here. Fleeting Time Dedication Hand. Replace spell, grant an ally 1/1. Both players get a mana gem. By getting this, we could drop Evelynn turn 1. Sure, we can try it. And I think we'll go for the champion item. But as we load in here, looks like a ad is wanting to drop. So we'll let this go through. And then we'll like carry on for the Battlesmith. All right, everyone should be back. Let's get into it. This is pretty solid. Yeah, we like having our Steam. We probably could have re-rolled our Warden's Prey, to be honest. So we're going to be able to drop her. Let's try to pass. They have 5 mana, so I feel like they should play something. Alright, so we are going to drop the Hate Spike here to level our Evelynn. By leveling her, we're then going to get 3 mana back.
Mind if I slip into something a little more painful?
So we could drop the Domination, but let's actually go super hard and drop another Haunted Husk. We can then drop a Honored Lord. And we can attack and get over half their health gone turn 1, which, as opposed to a normal turn 1 for Evelynn, we just drop 1 unit and hope it doesn't die. Not bad.
The finest Demosian steel.
Let's go for Steam here. Completely refilling our mana. We can go for a Cataclysm. This will give us the attack token because Scout plus free attack pretty much is a rally.
Actually here. I love it when they
And then we can attack like this, and GG.
down.
Nice.
Love it. I want more.
I think you're really liking the Jace Relic. I still don't know if that I'd actually like it better than some other ones, but it is actually working out better than I thought it would, so I'm very happy with that. Got Beast Within, grats. That's, yeah, one of the most versatile relics. Let's go for Summon Draw Spell. Yeah, that'll be nice. This one is okay. When you increase an ally stats with a spell, let's do a reroll. Best defense. Feebling, like, that's fine. We have Stargazer right there. Reduce the cost of a random card in all players' hand to 0 this round. No, I don't think I want to do that. Divine Clerk's not bad. Like, another 1 cost with Overwhelm and Lifesteal's pretty good. Let's go here for Stargazers. Let's go for a Soldier. Aside from being dead, he's also the final boss of the chapter. Let's give it a Cataclysm, and give it a Warden's Prey. The other two are pretty solid, though. So we don't have one of our... Yeah, we don't have one of our spells to be able to kill one of our husks.
I'm always ready to play.
When I see you or an ally kill an allied husk, I guess we do actually have the mana now because of her mana refill. So we could go ahead and go for Steam right away. Yeah, that's fine.
See what's beneath while I see what's inside.
Could go for a bunch of free attacks. But I think let's try to keep going for scaling at the moment.
Grant us your guidance. We have need of you.
Let's go ahead and kill that one.
Keep going. I love it when they scream.
We can attack like this. And then we could rally and attack again. Or we just attack like this to start. Yeah, sure.
Justice light my way.
Harder. Okay.
Alright, they drop a puff cap and we win. That's how it's gonna work, right? Yep, GG. I'm down to 3 missing gold relics, Found Fortune, Pack Powder, and Portal Pals. All ones that have a few fun cases. Yeah, those are all decent. Pack Powder is probably the most useful out of those, but all pretty solid. Let's go for the Cataclysm. It is pretty good for us. Stargazer. I mean, allied unit kills another one. Sure, none of those were actually that good for us, sadly. Let's get rid of the Jagged Taskmaster, and let's go for Viego.
No power in this world can stop me.
Let's get rid of Jarvan, because we're probably not going to play him. Let's get rid of Cataclysm, because we're going to draw it regardless. They have 6 mana, let's try to pass.
Beast of Camavoran.
Alright, we'll drop our Evelynn.
It's not my first time.
We'll go ahead and kill this right here. Everything is going to be stunned. This will level our Evelynn.
Mind if I slip into something a little more painful?
So we can drop this for the Overwhelm, which is pretty good. And Honored Lord, like this already has Overwhelm, so it's not that big of a deal. I think let's drop this one. That way when we attack, we can actually kill their Viego, which will be very nice. So pretty good turn one. Alright, so they're wanting to kill that, which means we might as well kill it ourselves. That is a lot of lost stats though, which is a little sad. Let's go for Steam. He'll get a lot of stats. This will level our Evelynn, stunning their board, refilling our mana.
You know that.
And then we can go for a Cataclysm right here if we want. Which I think we will. Both these are elusive, or not elusive. Sure, let's play this right here.
Yes, I fight.
Alright, so we just need to develop our board a little bit.
I love it when they
And GG. And I think this is turn 2. Nice. Yeah, this is actually not bad. Does give us a lot of early power, which is something that Evelynn can be missing sometimes. That was actually very good. I kind of thought this was going to be a little bit of a waste because Evelynn, the relic slots for her are so competitive. But this was actually quite nice. Now, we didn't really need the extra stats. Granted, making her a little bit healthier makes her harder to kill, which is nice. And the 1 health keeps her from some effects where, like, if kill a unit with 0 power or whatnot. But getting that mana refill is very good for Evelynn. Normally, you're dropping her and then you're only really playing like 1 unit around normally, and you barely have any mana left to do anything. This mana refill actually gave you a lot more presence in the early game and was actually pretty solid. So I think this is actually worth using and could be a pretty valid strategy for her, which pleasantly surprised by. So that I will actually consider for the tier list then as another champion that can actually use this as a solid option. The Evelynn Relic makes it so that you're guaranteed to draw her at the start of the game, or well, it creates an Evelynn in your hands. You don't actually even draw her. And then all of your husks can now attack or block. They're not immobile anymore. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, a like and subscribe is always appreciated. Also, if you want to check out our Twitch stream, Discord channel, or the main YouTube channel, links to all that are down below. Thank you again for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.